What happens when boxing royalty wins a throwback but doesn't even grin about it? What happens when greatness enters the ring not to fight, but to stare his next victim in the face? This wasn't just a title defense, it wasn't even about William Skull. This was the opening act for the biggest bout in boxing in a decade. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford. And after what had just happened live on DAZN, Canelo glanced about and announced without hesitation, "I'm killing you next." Let's look at what happened in Riyadh, how Crawford took the attention, and why this fight could have turned the boxing world upside down. Let's keep it $1. Canelo Alvarez is back as the undisputed super middleweight king. But this fight left everyone from Saudi princes to Twitter trolls dozing off. William Skull is undefeated, tall, and technically skilled, but exciting. Nah, Canelo put it best. It was dull and he was simply trying to live. I hate fights like these.
How are you feeling after your great performance tonight?
Oh, I feel great. I win, you know. I come to put a great show, but to put a great show you need both fighters. So, but at the end of the day, win is a win.
Are you frustrated with William Skull?
Yeah, a little bit, but
what did you say to him at the end of the fight?
I say to him, you just come to, you can not win a fight like that, fighting like that, and he say, I'm sorry. It's my first time and I just tried to put a good fight and I'm so sorry. That's right.
How are you feeling after your great performance tonight?
Oh, I feel great. I win, I come to put a great show, but to put a great show you need both fighters. So, but at the end of the day, win is a win.
Are you frustrated with William Skull?
Yeah, a little bit, but
what did you say to him at the end of the fight?
I say to him, you just come to, you can not win a fight like that, fighting like that, and he say, I'm sorry. It's my first time and I just tried to put a good fight and I'm so sorry. That's right.
Skull entered with reach, footwork, and a lot of running around energy, but Canelo did not chase. Instead, he stalked slowly, unleashing 40 punishing body blows to Skull's weak 6. The judges ruled 115 to 113, 116 to 112, 119 to 109. Canelo undoubtedly won. He ruled the ring, but what happened after the fight had the internet in a frenzy in real time.
Good job neutralizing Canelo's power punches. He was just moving a lot.
Do you think that's like a style you have to employ in points of the fight?
I don't know, because if you watch the styles that beat him, they didn't move a lot. They move a little bit, but not as much as William Skull.
There's a rumour going around this week that Manny Pacquiao is going to return. What do you make of that?
I don't know. We shall see. I don't know.
Do you think he's too old at 46 to fight Barrios?
I can't say if he's too old or not. If he get in there and win, then everybody will be saying different. So I don't put no limit on an all-time great like Manny Pacquiao.
Where does a win against Canelo Alvarez put you in the list of all-time greats?
Top, baby. Come on now. What's the key to victory? Be myself. Be myself. That's it. Excuse me.
Just as Canelo was catching his breath, the ring was cleared. Turki Al-Sheikh, Saudi Arabia's entertainment chief, walked in as if it were WWE and declared, "Now we want to do the face-off for the fight of the century. Canelo Alvarez versus Terence Crawford, the man who demolished Errol Spence Jr., the two-division undisputed king who Canelo previously thought was too little to fight him, is now staring Canelo dead in the face, as if he's already won. And Canelo's smile has vanished, no belts, no chatting, just worrying. cameras flashing, and the crowd going berserk, Crawford stood forward and dropped the bombshell. In September, I'll show the world what greatness looks like. No bad talk, only hate. Canelo replies with a grin and a whisper. I'll kill you next. This is no longer about boxing. It's ego versus tradition, respect versus dominance. For years, it's been power versus beauty. Terence Crawford has been banging on Canelo's door, calling him out, making clues in interviews, and telling the boxing world that he wants this smoke. But Canelo was having none of it. He simply brushed Crawford away. And why wouldn't he in Canelo's eyes? Crawford was too little.
I don't think it's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight. And Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo. But what's his options? I mean, like, you know, if Bivol wins, he could fight him for undisputed. That's a very tough fight. What's the other options? You know, Benavidez is up at 175. Obviously, His Excellency wants to make that fight, so I guess we could see it next.
We're talking about a man who started in the lightweight division and is now going for a monster who has held titles up to light heavyweight.
Terence Crawford, his name keeps coming up, and I know he's a lot smaller than you. Is that a fight that you would ever consider under any circumstance?
You know, I always say if the fight make sense, why not? But he's not in the plan.
He's not in the plan. Okay. Is there a specific reason for it? Is it because of his size, or it won't do anything for you in terms of pushing you toward your goals?
You know, like I say, it makes sense maybe. I don't know right now. I just gonna enjoy this fight. And please let me enjoy this fight. And then you gonna know what is next.
From the outside, it looked that Canelo did not take Bud seriously. Even after Crawford crushed Errol Spence and put the welterweight class on notice, Canelo wasn't impressed. He wanted to see Crawford face some of the bigger sharks before agreeing to fight.
Man, Charlo gave him too much respect, man. He didn't fight his fight.
What would you do to Canelo?
I don't know if he was scared or not, but, you know, Canelo did a tremendous job in there. He did what he had to do. Oh, that was you out here? Carl.
But now the story has turned. Terence Crawford vs. Canelo Alvarez has been set for September during Riyadh season, and it will take place in Las Vegas.
What do you think of Crawford saying you want to move up to 68 and fight the winner of Canelo Canelo at 68?
I commend them for it. It takes a lot of balls to do it. A lot of courage, but it also takes, more importantly, it takes believing in yourself. So I commend Crawford for it.
The size gap that previously kept this super fight in Dreamland is now the exact reason everyone is watching, because let's be honest, this is about more than just belts. It's about history, weight jumps, and trying something no one else has. Crawford is actually moving up to weight classes, from junior middleweight at 154 to Canelo's kingdom at 168. That's more than a step up. It's a leap of faith into one of boxing's most dangerous classes.
Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better. No, Terence Crawford is a great fighter. He's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah.
Next.
Yeah.
UFC great Joe Rogan recently commented on this, and let's just say he's worried. During an episode of the Joe Rogan Experience, Rogan put it plainly, "I just hope he's large enough. I hope he's big enough to keep that guy away from him because Canelo is such a powerful fighter." This isn't simply a casual fan questioning Crawford. Rogan has interviewed Bud. He respects him, but he also knows that this will be a war of physics, as well as skill.
Or when he fought Floyd, rather.
He's big, like muscular wise, but as far as like height,
right?
Nah. So yeah, that wouldn't be nothing that we had to see.
That would be insane for you to go from 140 all the way up to 168.
That'd be dope.
Woo!
I think it can happen. I think that's to be honest. I think that's the biggest fight in boxing. He beat Charlo, Terence Crawford, Canelo. That's the biggest fight in boxing, hands down. No other fighters could compare to that. No disrespect to Charlo, but he's not a superstar. He's not, on Canelo's level. Now he got a chance. Don't get me wrong. Like, he's going to do well in that fight, and he got the tools to win. It's just.
But here's what makes Bud so dangerous. He knows what he's getting into. He has been chasing this exact challenge and risk. He isn't just pursuing greatness, he's trying to redefine it. There was no warm-up fight, only time to bulk up, focus, and prepare his body for the most important moment of his career. That means he will have been out of the ring for more than a year by September. But that is how serious this man is about beating Canelo.
Well, first of all, I give Crawford all the credit in the world for even thinking about possibly fighting Canelo. But if that fight ever takes place, I have Crawford 1000%. And people are going to say, oh, well, you're contradicting yourself. I kind of am, but Crawford is also a big guy. Crawford is a big guy who can handle Canelo because they're the same size. Crawford is a guy who punches hard, but he doesn't rely on his power. He relies on his footwork. He relies on his speed, on his change-ups. He relies on his combinations. He relies on his mind. And I believe that Crawford is a way better boxer than Canelo.
He doesn't want to dilute the moment. He wants to focus totally on one thing, startling the world.
He's bringing up Canelo. I think that's weird, because you got to gain like, 20 pounds? Yeah. But they say that's the money fight. That's the mega fight. That's the money fight. That's the only thing that makes sense for Terence Crawford.
Well, catch weight. You can do something out of catch weight.
What weight you think?
Probably like 160.
So you said 154 is the highest you want to go.
Yeah, 158. 160.
So, if you are still sleeping on this fight, wake up. Terence Crawford, a generational method, is stepping up to meet Canelo Alvarez, a heavy-handed monster. It's brains versus brawn, speed versus strength, and history versus fate. September is about to become crazy.
Alvarez thinks you're not a 54-pounder. In other words, you say, nah, he's too small.
That's his take. There's a reason why Israel was so respectful in the fight. Anytime I let my hands go, he either grab me or move. For the bigger guy, you should have been walking me down. You should have been bullying me. Canelo can say what he say.
He just doesn't feel like you're a 54-pounder. He believes that you're a real weight class.
My real weight class is 168.
It's not Canelo trolling.
I just want to know if I'm too small for 168. A lot of people, my whole life, been doubting me. I know I'm smaller than Canelo. I know I'm smaller than these guys.
Yeah, but Canelo's pretty short too. Canelo's your
height. We're the same height. We're the same height.
Exactly, for a 68-pounder. But he is a freaking boulder. You know what I'm saying? Like he's a thick kid.
We know that.
Let us give credit to DAZN and the Saudis for this situation. They didn't just push a fight, they made a movie about it. Canelo arrived around 6:20 a.m. local Saudi time to ensure that the fight played during prime time on the West Coast. The skull fight was largely a formality. The true drama was watching Terence Crawford sit ringside, arms crossed and gaze fixed.
I don't know. I mean, it's one thing. I mean, I wouldn't think that Canelo watched Crawford on Saturday and was afraid of fighting him at 68. I think for Canelo, it's more about the credibility he gets through victory. I think he's a little bit concerned, having spoken to him in the past, that if he beats a guy that's coming up from 147 to 168, is he really going to get the respect for that? So we'll see. I mean, money talks. If it's the right deal, he'll always take the fight.
Even before the bout, Crawford told Claudia Joe of DAZN, "Canelo's the guy we're looking at." He scouted the entire fight, not cheering or tweeting, simply calculating that stare down in the ring was not for the cameras. It was a deal made without a pen. So the million-dollar question is, who has the advantage in this fight? On paper, Canelo appears to have an edge. He is the naturally larger boxer, has fought at 168 pounds for years, and has faced giants such as Dmitry Bivol and Sergey Kovalev.
I know you're smart, man. I got Crawford ready for when you watch on board.
What do I think of that fight?
Yeah.
I think that, everybody knows that Crawford got the skills. I do think that Canelo's a little big for Crawford. It'll be a tall task for him to win. It'll be a lot you have to. It'll be a lot to get that victory based on size alone. Not that size wins fights, but you got a guy that got size and skill. It'll be hard. I mean, nothing is impossible. But if I had my money on somebody winning the fight, it'll be Canelo Alvarez. Even though Terence Crawford is a great fighter. They both great fighters. You got two great fighters in there. I think one guy got the advantage to just make up his body, tightness, how big of a person he is. I think that will be a deciding factor in that fight.
Not to mention that he has the experience, strength, and chin to back it up. But just because Crawford is adding weight does not mean he is the underdog mentally. If anything, Bud grows when others doubt him. Every time they claim someone was too powerful, skilled, or experienced, he shut them down one by one. Crawford's boxing IQ is unparalleled. His timing is impeccable, and his switch-hitting ability keeps even the most skilled rivals guessing. If this battle evolves into a tactical chess match, don't be shocked if Crawford sets the pace.
Boom, 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 bang.
But if it turns into a war of attrition, that is Canelo's world. The true deciding element here is if Bud can maintain his speed, stamina, and pop up to 168 without losing what makes him unique, because if he can, this may not be the mismatch some think it is. It could simply be the moment Crawford steals the crown. Let's talk about the now iconic remark, "I'm killing you next." Canelo didn't say that to excite the audience. Instead, he leaned in, eyes locked, and uttered it as if he already knew. The result? It wasn't anger, but a vow. That's the most frightening kind of fighter, the one who looks at a legend and whispers a death sentence. Bud smiled and did not flinch, simply saying, "We'll see." That is what makes this war hazardous. The date is set, September 12, 2025. Allegiant Stadium, Las Vegas. More than 65,000 people are expected. TAZN pay-per-view is going global with Saudi money behind it. America is watching because this is more than just a boxing bout. It's a showdown between two future Hall of Famers to decide who the greatest of all time is.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. Big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I'm not betting against Terence Crawford against nobody right now. You got to show me that you can beat him.
At the end of the day, this is more than just a fight. It's history in the making. To generations of skill, to undeniable rulers from different universes finally meet in the middle of the ring for a once-in-a-lifetime fight. Whether you're on Team Crawford or Canelo, this battle will surely change the boxing scene. So now it is your time. Share your opinions in the comments. Who will walk away with the crown in September? Is Crawford chewing off more than he can chew? Or is he ready to shock the world by beating boxing's biggest star? Make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe for more battle breakdowns and updates. And don't forget to allow notifications. I'll see you in the next movie.